Hello everybody, and welcome to Back to the Moon and Bubbled.
Well, this is it. After this video is over, we will be officially all caught up with Season 3. And then we just have that Steven Bomb 5 video to worry about. Today's final two episodes actually continue off of an episode we skipped out on reviewing, Hit the Diamond. In that episode, a group of 5 rubies come down to Earth looking for Jasper, and get tricked into playing baseball instead. We didn't review it mainly because it was mostly a joke episode that just happened to involve Homeworld and its antics. But now it's time for things to get serious.
Very serious, very quickly. I came here to have a good time, and I'm honestly feeling so attacked right now, like, jeez.
At the end of Hit the Diamond, the group tells the rubies that Jasper is on another planet. The rubies are back in this episode because they've now searched that planet and everyone in the solar system and realized the lie. And Lapis has them suspended in water bubbles. So Steven picks one to let down and...
What brings you back to Earth?
I don't know.
Okay, this is a story question carried over from Hit the Diamond, but why is Homeworld sending their stupidest gems to carry out the important task of finding Jasper?
Yeah, rubies are supposed to be stupid foot soldiers, sadly enough. They deserve better.
I'll just go stand over here then.
Let's take a chance on Army.
No, Lapis! You don't just let down one ruby without resubmerging the other. They might try to team up and fight back.
None of the other rubies say anything of importance, and when Doc is let out, she demands answers. Oh, yeah, and Steven named all of the rubies based on their gem placement.
There's Leggy, Army, Navy, Eyeball, and, Doc.
Hey!
Okay, Amethyst. You can shapeshift into Jasper. You know you can shapeshift into Jasper. So why is it that, for the past few episodes when you were trying to get strong, it never occurred to you to shapeshift into something bigger during the fight?
Because you can't stay shapeshifted for long periods of time.
Are fights really that long?
Well, just because she changes form doesn't technically mean that her overall strength level increases. I guess you could think of it like plastic surgery? You can get plastic surgery on your lips, but that won't make your lips any stronger? I don't know. Where is it even going with this? But yeah, even when she shapeshifts, she doesn't get physically stronger, I think.
What we quickly see is that rubies really love exposition.
They said you popped out of the ground with your helmet on. I took out 80 crystal gems before the sun went down.
Which winds up cluing us in as to Jasper's life and her reputation, which Amethyst had no idea about. This is gonna be awkward.
Jasper says that she's going to stay on Earth to keep these rebel prisoners hostage. The rubies demand that she files a report at the nearest diamond base, which is on the moon. Amethyst, Steven, Garnet, and Pearl, along with the rubies, head to the ship to fly off to the moon. Amethyst has to hold her form all the way to the moon, which quite obviously is going to be a challenge. They enter the ship, and here's where the story really begins.
After some of the depressing stuff that's been going on these past few episodes, I'm very happy to say that this is easily one of the season's funniest episodes. Watching the gems pull off this fake act of being Jaspethist's prisoners leads to a lot of great moments.
The rubies and everyone arrive at the base, only to get a backstory about the deceased diamond, Pink Diamond, who we not too long ago figured out was Jasper's original diamond. As it turns out, Rose Quartz was the one who shattered her, and the scene quickly becomes very dark. Steven doesn't believe it, and meanwhile, Pearl is shaking. Apparently, Eyeball saw her shattered with her own eye, and most likely, Eyeball was not one of hers.
Oh no, it's happening again!
You should have listened to me, Rose! I would have taken the war to Homeworld and shattered the diamonds!
Shattered the diamonds! Shattered the diamonds!
Much like in Bismuth, this episode is forcing us to consider the ethics behind shattering gems. And we've got quite an interesting scenario on our hands. When Rose fought with Bismuth, she seemed pretty firmly against the idea of a weapon that could shatter homeworld gems. But knowing what we know now, Rose must not have been completely anti-shattering. After all, she flat out shattered a diamond in front of a bunch of her subjects. My theory on the matter is this. Since throughout their fight, Bismuth thought that Steven was Rose, I think it's safe to assume that, at least at one point, Rose did hold the opinion that Steven has, which is that shattering is just always wrong under any circumstance. And considering that Bismuth never once brought up Pink Diamond, I think it's safe to assume that Rose's fight with Bismuth happened well before Rose decided it was time to shatter Pink Diamond. With all this in mind, I think the most likely scenario is that Rose decided somewhere between her fight with Bismuth and when she decided to shatter Pink Diamond that sometimes shattering is okay, as long as the gem being shattered has done something very awful to deserve it. So essentially, what Steven was saying at the end of Bismuth is something Rose may have once believed but has since outgrown, along with the rest of the crystal gems. But since Steven doesn't understand this yet, his brain is completely, well, shattered.
Wow. Too soon, Cobalt. Too soon. Jasper sends Eyeball to file a report for her at home after finding the moon base console destroyed. Amethyst stops shapeshifting as Jasper as soon as the rubies enter the ship to leave. But before they take off, they discover her not to be Jasper. They form Mega Ruby and try to attack the crystal gems. Steven sends them off into space before they can even lay a finger on his family, but ends up getting sucked out along with them. And cue the end of Back to the Moon. Ha! Thanks!
Steven puts himself in a bubble and runs into one of the rubies while hurtling through space. They get into a conversation which actually has a lot of accidental rhymes in it.
Eyeball! You! There goes the earth. There goes my whole platoon! This is a mess! What do I say in my report? This is a nightmare! How will I even make my report? This is all your fault. Hey, no it's not! You were trying to hurt my friend! You opened the airlock in the moon base! You sent us flying into space! Lucky you're in that board! Pop you right in the face!
So maybe that was my fault. I'm sorry.
Great!
We can hold in silence till we both die!
I can't wait! Come back to the dome planet! I couldn't believe it. Rose Quartz might still be alive? Why else Jasper be on Earth? For closure. That's why I wanted it too. To see Rose with my own eye.
I know where Rose Quartz is.
What? Where is she?
Today's your lucky day. She turned into me.
Right. You already fooled me. You can't fool me again.
Look, I can prove it. I have a Rose Quartz gem.
You expect me to believe anything, don't you? We're gonna die. You're gonna make fun of me till we do.
Okay, we put way too much effort into this video.
Asteroids!
Steven and Eyeball get through the asteroid belt, but just as they thought they were out of it, Eyeball gets smacked right in the gem by another rock. She begins floating off, her gem cracked, but Steven saves her by dragging her into the bubble with him. After some argument, Steven manages to heal her gem, which makes her believe that he is Rose Quartz. Things go downhill from there, if you couldn't already tell.
What will the diamonds say when they hear that a ruby defeated Rose Quartz? They're gonna give me my own pearl!
Now this is an interesting line of dialogue. Remember how Homeworld has this strict class system that puts certain gems inherently above other gems? Well, Eyeball here definitely remembers that, and it seems like, if this line is any indication, she hopes that, if she kills Rose Quartz, she'll be able to remove some of the prejudice that leads to such a class system existing.
No, she just thinks that she'll look good, not that she'll make the entire class look good. She even talks about how she'll get her own pearl!
Steven gets pulled back onto the Ruby's ship, which the crystal gems are now driving, and...
If I could begin to be...
This scene gets me every time because of the song! Steven deserves better!
alone when I see...
After such a long time of waiting, we finally get an episode that uses the Love Like You song that plays during the credits, and while it is a very pretty song, I am a little surprised that it's being used here, considering that the lyrics don't seem to be very connected to what's happening. The song seems to be written from Rose's perspective as opposed to Steven's.
When I see the way you act, wondering when I'm coming back.
It isn't really tied to the episode at all, besides sounding sweet and being a pretty soundtrack for this ending scene.
Like you.
The Gems and Steven head back to Earth, and we finally get confirmation that Rose would indeed even shatter someone if it would save the Earth. And the episode ends off there.
This was an intriguing, satisfying finale to Season 3. It had a fair share of humor and heaviness, and did a good job balancing the two together. We learned more about the Gem War and Rose's role in it. These episodes also put Steven in a very interesting position, in that he now has to wrestle with the entirety of who Rose Quartz was. It was very... oh boy, this is awkward. I don't even know what else to say about the episode for once. I'm so used to having these long spiels at the end of these things. What's going on? Insert convincing closing statement here. 4 out of 5.
I would give these episodes a 4 out of 5 too. They made a huge revelation in the series' story, since we figured out that Rose shattered Pink and all, and it also conveyed a lot of emotion that some of the more comical episodes can't. And while it was emotional, it was still entertaining, so that was a bonus. And yeah, all around a good set of episodes. So thank you one and all for watching, and we hope to see you in the next one. Bye!